Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for December 31st of 2024 is titled The Twisted Disk of NGC 4753. So what do we see here? Well, here we see what is known as a twisted disk galaxy. So it's not quite the nice flat disk that we're used to seeing in most disk galaxies. And those are like spiral galaxies that have a flattened disk component to them. Now, normally they're relatively flat. However, in some cases we find them where they're all twisted like this, and we can see the dark dust lanes going around in an unusual pattern. Again, usually they're rather confined to a flat disk. Here they're spread out all over the place. Now, as with most things that we see, especially with galaxies, they are typically associated with collisions. So when we see unusual things in a galaxy, doesn't always work, but very often it is associated with two galaxies colliding together. And that's what's likely happening here, where perhaps a satellite galaxy that was also had a good amount of dust in it was being torn apart by the larger galaxy and being consumed by it. Now, depending on the orbit that galaxy had, then it may have ripped apart and give it different patterns than we would normally expect. Now, what would happen in the long run is eventually this will just settle down. The material will settle down into the disk of the galaxy and then eventually form stars, and it will look just like an ordinary galaxy once again. But it's when we catch these galaxies in the middle of a collision that we get the unusually shaped strange galaxies that we often see, such as the one here today. Now, the other thing that can affect this is how we see the galaxy. So do we look at it face down, or are we looking at it from the edge? Here we're looking at it kind of edge on, and that allows the magnification of the disturbances within that dust. If we were looking at this face down, looking straight down onto the structure of the galaxy, we might not notice it as much. The little deviations here would not be as well emphasized. So it's again a matter of just the collisions there and the fact that we're seeing it from a specific perspective. And of course, with any galaxy, we only get to see it from one perspective, as we cannot travel out the millions of light years that would be needed to see the galaxy from a different angle. So for each galaxy we look at, we only get one specific perspective on it that we are able to see. And in this case, it gives us the image of the twisted disk galaxy. So that was our picture of the day for December 31st of 2024. It was titled The Twisted Disk of NGC 4753. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be nearby triple. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.